Hey everyone, I'm back with another video. This one is going to focus on the going to the grocery store. So don't mind me, I'm super tired. Had a long day at work and I'm trying to make sure I get this video in before I'm over grocery shopping day. Also, I just did my hair, so it hurts, but I look low-key snatched. um, So there's a few things. First of all, I'm going to be sliding some pictures through so you guys see how everything was. And I would say like 90% of the purchases that I made, excluding the meat and a couple of groceries that I had to put away. You know, certain things you put away really quickly. So I had some frozen fruit in there, I had some milk, and a few other things I had to put in the refrigerator. But for the most part, um, I got a lot of stuff. So the first picture is going to be my initial table, the stuff that I got. Okay. So my total with meat and everything, my whole grocery shopping trip was $87.23. Now, for some people, that might still be a lot, but honestly, I go grocery shopping maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. So I think that's actually really good. Sometimes I can pull off a month of not grocery shopping if I do it right and prep everything and really keep a track of what I have and what I don't have in my cabinets and my refrigerator. So again, if any of you have been on my website, I actually have a whole post there about grocery shopping. So I have like 10 tips to get you in and out of the grocery store. Now, personally, those things work. If you are the kind of person that prefers to go to one grocery store, honestly, you will not get as much as if you're willing to just take the time, do it right, so you don't have to do it every week. Um, I went to a total of 3 stores during this shopping trip. So I went to Whole Foods first. Normally, I'm not a Whole Foods kind of girl, but they were having a really good sale on some of their produce. So it actually was beneficial for me to go. The second store I went to was Trader Joe's. I am a Trader Joe's lover. I feel like it is the good version of Whole Foods, the cheaper version, but still super good, really good stuff. It's worth the trip if you can go. If you have one near you, you can always Google it. But I'm an avid believer of Trader Joe's and what they have to offer. Um, Also, the final store I went to was Extra. Um, that's actually one of those hood Caribbean grocery stores. I am Jamaican, so I tend to get some of my more ethnic, which I don't really like, but I mean, it is what it is because people have different preferences, whatever they want to call it. But Extra for me is just the Caribbean store. It's where you can get all those harder to find items that I use a lot. So that was really great. Sorry, I keep looking over to the side. Something fell. It's bugging me out. um, so, like I said, my total was $87.23 between the 3 stores. Now, I usually follow sales. That's how I operate. And then I know certain things are always a certain price because I regulate or regular, excuse me, some of those stores pretty often. So, like Trader Joe's, I know some things, the prices of a lot of things offhand. Now, they are seasonal. So sometimes something will be on sale one week and it may not be on sale the next week. But for the most part, certain things there are much cheaper than the regular grocery store. Like milk is usually much cheaper if you drink dairy milk. Also, the milk substitutes, so things like almond milk, rice milk, soy milk, all those things, they are usually cheaper there as well. But Whole Foods can be just as good if you catch them on a sale. Extra is where I go to buy meat. Now, if I'm going to go organic, if I really feel it's necessary, meat is the one place that I will do it. With vegetables, I find with the FDA regulations, they're not as strict as people think they are. So, um, you're not getting as organic as they want to make it believe. Usually, to get the most organic, I say go to a farmer's market for fruits and vegetables. I know a few really good ones in my area, but if you have any questions, leave them below, and I can definitely try to search for you or help you out or let you know what to look for when you're looking for organic fruits and vegetables. Um, Anywho, these are some of the things that I bought that are on my kitchen table still. Um, some I was too lazy to put away. Some I actually didn't have space in my cabinets for. But mostly I left it out so you guys could have at least some idea of what I bought, and like besides just the pictures. So you can kind of see that I still have quite a bit. Um, so, as always, I believe in filling up my refrigerator and my freezer before I fill up my cabinets. So, my most of my food will go bad if I don't eat them. I like to eat food that's alive. It's going to keep you alive. To me, it's just, I mean, that's how I operate. Um, if you're eating a lot of cans, processed, things like that, I just feel like if it never goes bad, if it never degrades, biodegradable would be where that would come in. If it doesn't do any of that, how in the world are you going to digest it? How is it going to benefit you in the long run if it doesn't ever break down? So I tend to focus on filling up my refrigerator, which is the things that I'm going to eat within the next 2 weeks or so, in my freezer, mostly with frozen vegetables and fruit for my smoothies, and just to have on weeknights, have them quick, and definitely the meats because I'm not a meat eater every day, and we'll go through that in a minute. Um, so definitely the food prep. So I mentioned in another video that I actually don't like to wash my produce before I put it in the refrigerator. I don't think it's necessary. I think it actually makes them go bad a little bit faster. So I don't wash produce before I put it in the refrigerator. I wash produce as I go along. So when I take an apple out the refrigerator, that's when I'm washing it. When I'm using a bell pepper, that's when I'm washing it. When I find that when you pre-wash things, even pre-cut them sometimes, the natural moistures and the sweat, if you want to call it that, that happens in a container in a Ziploc bag, um, can cause it to go bad, and it may not even be its time. So, I definitely don't recommend doing that. I do recommend, however, getting a fruit and vegetable wash, particularly if you're not buying things from the farmer's market. You can usually get a bottle at a regular grocery store, in the produce section. I have one that I've had for a few months, and I only paid maybe $4.99 for it at the time. Fill your sink up with water, add the solution according to the instructions, throw in your fruit and vegetables. I believe in eating the skin almost always, unless there's a reason that I can't, like a pineapple. But even that I use to make a drink. So I definitely like to get the nutrients. So I want to make sure that they're ready for consumption. They're fit to be eaten. Um, Next, I'm going to talk about the meat prep. So when I come from the grocery store, if any of you follow me on Instagram, I've mentioned that I've done a post on going to the grocery store in the past. So, going to the grocery store is always something that I personally find relaxing, but I know a lot of people don't. And meat prep is one of those things that is worth the time if you do it right the first time. So, as soon as I come home from the grocery store, I don't put things in the freezer. I don't put the meat in the freezer. That's the last thing that actually gets put away. My meat instantly gets set up. So I'll have separate bowls for chicken, versus beef versus turkey or whatever it is that I bought. Each type of meat gets put in its own bowl. Um, then I add vinegar and lemon juice. Usually my ratio is like 3 tablespoons to a quarter cup of lemon juice, to anywhere from a quarter cup to a half a cup or more. Sometimes I'll even go up to a cup of vinegar depending on how much meat I'm washing at the time. Um, so I'll put all of that in the sink, add some cold water, and let it sit. Poultry, I usually let it sit for at least 15 minutes. Beef is about the same. Um, if I'm having multiple pieces of chicken, like all different cuts and whatever, it's sitting for at least 20 minutes. I let it sit, swish it around a little bit, drain off that water, catch some, clean, regular cold water out the faucet. I actually have a pure water filter on my faucet, so if I'm feeling like it's necessary, I'll do it that way. But usually it's not. And then I just do a cold water rinse, just clean cold water, just to make sure that all the meat doesn't taste like lemon juice and vinegar. Although the vinegar also helps with tenderizing the meat when you're ready to cook it. So it's multi-purpose. And it's a natural antibacterial wash for meat. Um, it's tougher with ground meat. Fish, I usually don't do that method for. Fish is something that I actually do put away. And that's because I actually wash fish as I use it. Like I'll just rinse it with cold water. I don't like to alter the flavor of fish at all. I think it's great as is. So, and it usually doesn't have the same number of things that can't be cooked away with heat. So I'll definitely throw some pictures up, of my steps that I've done and, a few things along the way. And then after everything's washed, I season them. I use everything except salt. I have a basic seasoning blend or whatever, if you want to call it, that I put on everything, all the meat. And then that way it seasons it without being specific to a recipe, so you can alter it later. And I'm going to show a picture of that as well, my starting lineup of flavor, if that's what you want to call it, that I like to use. Um, and then finally, um, why it works. So, prepping everything ahead of time makes it easier for you when you're ready to go, when you're on the move, when you have things to do, when you're busy. You definitely want to have those things in place so you don't have an excuse to hit the drive through. You don't have an excuse to have that extra cookie. You don't have an excuse to not eat, to skip a meal, which is just as dangerous as overeating. With the fruit and vegetable prep, you can also prep your snacks. Prep your celery sticks. Celery is one of those things that you can cut in advance, but still don't wash until you're ready to eat them. Carrots, same thing. I don't like baby carrots. I've never seen a baby carrot. I don't know how they make baby carrots. I actually heard something really weird on the radio that they're adult carrots that they like shave down and do some weird stuff to. I'm not interested. Um, I will make my own shredded carrots or even cut up the carrots into carrot sticks or whatever. So I like to have stuff in place. Again, it avoids making tough decisions, not so great decisions throughout the week and throughout your day. If you don't give yourself an excuse, you're going to be less likely to make those choices that you're going to be upset about later. So definitely check it out. Find out what works for you. If you have any questions, I also offer grocery shopping trips as part of Lifestyle Motives. They range in price from where you want to go and what you want to do, how much you're getting. But you can email me for all of that type of information, lifestylemotives@gmail.com. Also, check out the site. There's a place where you can sign up. You can ask for more information. You can subscribe. And that's lifestyle motives, excuse me, .wordpress.com. Lifestyle Motives also has a page on Facebook with, some tidbits here and there, some posts that are similar to the ones on the website. But it's just a good way to connect. And I always like when people ask questions in the group or on the Lifestyle Motives page. It's great. It's great feedback. I'm usually pretty good with getting back to anyone if you send me a message or an email. But definitely, it's one of the services that I offer. It's something that I do personally. And I feel like it's really important to prep yourself in the beginning when you come home from the store. So it's just like the focus of Lifestyle Motives is what happens when you come home from the doctor, or what happens when you decide you want to make these life choices and you're not prepared. Um, this kind of focuses on the same thing. It gets you ready to move forward with your week and make sure you're prepared. So again, if you have any questions, you can leave comments. You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, lifestyle_motives15. I love the feedback. I love to know what you guys are struggling with, what you need help with, what you need suggestions with. So definitely let me know and keep me updated. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And thanks for the support.